Hey guys, it's Stoof here from Travel SzN. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about Canyonlands National Park in Utah. This is a huge national park divided into a few different sections with a lot of stuff to do in each of these sections. Unfortunately, when I budgeted out our time for our trip, I only gave us 2 days in Canyonlands National Park. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what we did during our trip to Canyonlands, and I'm also going to talk about some other stuff that you guys can do and hopefully give you some information that can help you plan out your trip to Canyonlands. As I mentioned, Canyonlands National Park is located in Utah. Canyonlands National Park is divided into 4 sections, I would say. There's Island in the Sky, the Needles, the Maze, and Horseshoe Canyon. The Needles and Island in the Sky are the most popular sections of the national park and the most visited sections. The Maze and Horseshoe Canyon are less accessible, so less people visit those sections. When we visited Canyonlands National Park, I only gave us enough time to do the Island in the Sky section of the park. I really need to come back to this park because there's a lot more to do here. If you look at these map images real quick, you can see that the 4 sections of the park don't look like they're that far apart from each other. However, the Green River and Colorado River divide the park into these different sections, and no access roads or bridges go over the river. So you have to go all the way back over and around down to get into another section, which can take anywhere from 2 hours to a half day to get from one section of the park to another section of the park. So based on that, it does make sense to pick one section of the park to visit per day. I decided to do both of our days in Island of the Sky because the first day we visited was really cloudy and I wanted to go back for a sunny day. When we visited Canyonlands National Park, the absolute first thing I wanted to do was see the sunrise at Mesa Arch. The view through this arch is incredible at sunrise. The arch faces east with a massive canyon open space area through it with the La Salle Mountains, and you can see the sun rising right over the mountains or just in the mountain area there. Mesa Arch is located about 6 miles south of the Island in the Sky Visitor Center, and it's just a 5 to 10 minute walk from the parking lot. There's a little bit of uneven ground, but it's not a very strenuous walk, so I would recommend this one for all ages. Just be careful with kids once you get to the actual arch, because there is a very steep drop-off in that area. I left my campground about an hour and a half before sunrise. Morning! It's 6:30 a.m. and we're heading to Canyonlands National Park to see the sunrise at Mesa Arch. And unfortunately, there are a lot of clouds rolling in, so I don't think we're gonna get a good sunrise, but we'll see. Once I got there, I saw a crowd of people just standing right behind the arch, kind of blocking the view, really. Everybody got there, I don't know how early they got there, but I got there about a half hour before sunrise, and they were all so excited. We were all so excited to see the sunrise, and the sun never peeked out through the clouds, and then it just turned into a gray, gloomy day the rest of the day. We had that little bit of color in the morning, still created some beautiful images for photos. I'm definitely going to be creating a painting based on what I saw here, but you could tell people were sad that the sun did not peek through those clouds. If you get a sunny morning at Mesa Arch, the sunlight will illuminate these rocks and just make them a beautiful, vibrant orange, yellow, golden color. That's what I was hoping for, and unfortunately I didn't get to see that on my trip, but hopefully you will. The next stop on my morning in Canyonlands National Park was the Green River Overlook. This is about 8 miles south of the Island in the Sky Visitor Center, and this overlook faces the west. You have views of the canyons leading down into the Green River. From this parking lot, it's a 1 to 2 minute walk to the overlook. It's very close to the parking lot, and there are restrooms right there too in the parking lot if you need to use the facilities. When I saw this overlook in the morning on a cloudy day, I thought it was beautiful. However, I returned to this spot the next day for sunset when we had a sunny day, and it is a completely different type of beautiful when the sun is on these rocks. This park is amazing, but if you visit this park on a sunny day, Man, it is gorgeous. As an artist, visiting Canyonlands on a sunny day was one of the most inspiring parts of this trip for me. So if you do get time to see the Green River overlook at sunset, that would be my recommendation. Going back to my cloudy day in Canyonlands National Park, the next stop after the Green River overlook was Whale Rock. This hiking trail is just under 1 mile round trip with about 150 feet elevation gain. This trailhead is located about 10 miles from the visitor center. From the Green River overlook heading north, you're going to make a left on that main road and then pull off on the right for Whale Rock. The hardest thing about this trail is staying on the correct path. I got lost a few times and went off trail here, even though you can see that Whale Rock is this massive slab of sandstone that looks like a beached whale. It's kind of unclear where the end of the trail is, so once I got up onto that big sandstone formation, I was just walking up and down trying to see if there was a clear end of the trail. I did get some great views of Upheaval Dome and the surrounding area on top of that sandstone formation. When I did this hike, there were no other people on this trail when I did it, so that was nice that it was very quiet and peaceful, but it wasn't as easy to find the end of the trail because I was the only one out there. This trail does have some of those little towers made out of sandstone rocks that people place along the trail, so if you see those little guys, you know you're on the right path. This was a pretty nice hike to do, not too strenuous, you get some pretty nice views, and it's something different. It's not just looking at an overlook of canyons, so I liked this one. My next stop was the Buck Canyon Overlook. This is about 10 miles south of the Island in the Sky Visitor Center. This overlook is a short walk from the parking lot as well, and it has some amazing views facing the east. This may also be a great spot to watch the sunrise. Some of these overlooks in Canyonlands National Park are just so amazing to see how the water cut through these layers of rock. It just looks like it chiseled out little puzzle pieces coming down and down into the earth. It's just really cool to see. My final stop on day one of Canyonlands National Park was the Grand Viewpoint Overlook. This is located about 12 miles south of the visitor center and is one of the more popular overlooks in the park. From here, it's a short walk from the parking lot to an overlook of the Colorado River. You can see the La Salle Mountains over to your left, and if you can see for about 12 miles south on a clear day, you can see the Needles section of Canyonlands. From this initial viewpoint, there is a 1.8 mile out and back walk to your right along the rim that gives you more views of the canyon area to the south. Day 2 of my trip to Canyonlands National Park is where all the magic happens. I visited on a sunny day in late afternoon, and our first stop was the Schaefer Canyon Overlook. Look at that view, guys. How different is this park when the sun comes out? It's amazing. This viewpoint is only 2 minutes drive about 1 mile south of the Island in the Sky Visitor Center. The Schaefer Canyon Overlook has a view facing east. You can see the Schaefer Canyon Road that goes down into the canyon area there. Schaefer Canyon Road is an unpaved road that winds back and forth down into the canyon. The Park Service recommends using a high clearance 4-wheel drive vehicle to drive that road down into the canyon. And from in the canyon, you can actually take Potash Road that it connects to all the way back into Moab. It's about a 2-hour drive if you take that route. We did not go down into the canyon on that road, but we got some pretty amazing views from this overlook. The full moon was rising up over the La Salle Mountains as the sun was setting behind us, casting all this beautiful light and color onto these rocks in front of us. This was truly one of the best sunsets I've ever seen in my life, and I wasn't even facing the sun. I was so inspired by this that I already made a painting of this. Here's my painting. Prints are available on the site below, and if you care to see more about my art, you can visit my art channel called The Painting Stoof. But next, we drove over to the Green River Overlook again. I visited this overlook on day 1, came back for day 2 because I knew it was going to be so much different with the sun out. This is that overlook facing the west, so we got to see the sunset over the ridge out to the distance in front of us, and we could see the sun illuminating the rocks, that brilliant red color, and we just watched the light and the color in the sky change as the sun continued to set. Not super crowded, there were maybe 20 other people there. Everyone just grabbed a spot on the rock and we peacefully, in silence, watched the sunset. It was a really nice time. So that concluded my time in Canyonlands National Park. I definitely need to come back because I barely scratched the surface for all the awesome stuff you can do here. Here are some things I wish I did in Canyonlands National Park, which I will prioritize next time. Number 1 is to get down into the canyon near the river and just get a different perspective of the park. So I already mentioned the Schaefer Road that takes you down into the canyon along the eastern side and over by the Colorado River. This is still in the Island in the Sky section. Another way to access the river and get down into the canyons is going west, also in the Island in the Sky area, along Mineral Road, also called the Horse Thief Trail. This is about a 13-mile unpaved road down to the Green River. It looks like there's a place to access the river via a boat there as well. I didn't even think about getting on the river because we don't have a boat. We don't know anybody that has a boat, but that would be a lot of fun too. Next is to get up onto Upheaval Dome via the Syncline Loop. This is one of the more strenuous hikes in the Island in the Sky section. It's over 8 miles, over 1,600 feet elevation change, so this is a good hike to start early in the morning, especially if you're visiting this park during the spring or summer months when it's hot. I love strenuous hikes, and I really wish I had enough time to do that one, so we're gonna plan that one for next time. Next time we visit the park, we're definitely going to visit the Needles section. That's the southeast section of the park. It's called the Needles based on the colorful spires of the Cedar Mesa sandstone. As you can see in this map of the Needles area, there's a scenic drive that's about 7 miles past the visitor center and a ton of interconnecting hiking trails. The 2 trails that caught my eye immediately in the Needles are the Slick Rock Trail, which is a 2.4 mile round trip hike, and the Squaw Canyon to Lost Canyon Trail, which is 8.7 miles round trip, takes about 4 to 6 hours, and is a strenuous hike. Those would be the first 2 on my list to try out. I haven't done them, so if you have visited the Needles section and you have recommendations, please leave a comment below so other people can get an idea of some great hikes in this section of the park. Next, I would like to see Horseshoe Canyon in Canyonlands National Park. This is that 4th section that's west of the rest of the park. Originally, I read about this hike and saw that it has some rock art, and I was like, there's rock art in a lot of national parks and BLM lands in Utah. I don't really need to see that. But then after looking at pictures after I came back, I really wish I did this hike because this is some impressive rock art and this looks like a pretty fun hike. This is a 7-mile out and back trail that goes down into this canyon and has about 1,400 feet elevation change. This trailhead is about 2 hours away from Moab, so it is kind of out there, but if I had time, I would definitely want to come back and do that. Alright guys, that concludes my video. I hope you enjoyed watching the things that I did in Canyonlands National Park and hearing about the things I wish I did. Hopefully it helps you prepare your trip for Canyonlands National Park. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button below this video so you don't miss any more of our fun travel adventures. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great day and happy travels. Bye bye.